Ladies and gentlemen, load up your lungs and your loyalties, 'cause riding into this arena tonight, here come the Gunslingers!
No G with a Z, P-O-D. Welcome back to the Smoking Guns podcast. We are a podcast all about football in San Antonio, specifically the football around the San Antonio Gunslingers of the IFL, the 3-3 San Antonio Gunslingers after another victory on Saturday night. My name is Philip Higginbotham. I'm one of your hosts for the next few minutes. I'm joined, as always, by my good friends Leo Yamas.
What's up, Smoking Guns Posse?
And R.C. Woods.
Hello, beautiful people. Mwah.
And we're excited. Another win, 3-3. I called it all the way back after that awful game against Vegas in the Freeman Coliseum. The first thing I said when that game ended was, you win the next three, you're 3-3. You hit the reset button on the season. And it's just a shorter season. We got 10 games left, and we're at 500. We are in the fourth place spot in the Western Conference right now, and we are taking on San Diego, the Strike Force, who is in the third spot. They are 4-2. We are 3-3. If we win the game, we are both 4-3, and we have the win. We can jump a whole spot in the standings just by winning on Saturday afternoon. That's a lot better position than we were in 3 weeks ago, right?
Most definitely.
Ton better. It's good to be on a win streak.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the victory. It was let's just deal with this, Leo. It was 30-29. It was a 1-point victory, but it wasn't, was it?
No. We left some points on the field, like literally on the field at the 1 yard line intentionally.
Yeah, right at the end of the game, the Gunslingers get to the 1 yard line, but kneel the ball down at the 1 yard line, allowing them to stay in control and have possession of the ball and take the 1-point victory all the way down, take the clock all the way down to 000 and take the victory. Leo, if you score there, you have a 7-point victory. You have a 7-point lead at that point. Yeah?
Right.
Now you got some opportunities to add some more points. You got a Tyler Huddle field goal.
Extra point.
You've got an extra point. You also have a deuce opportunity. So you could take a 7-point victory and you could swell it to a 10-point victory, but that's going to require some work. But you have to give the ball back to Northern Arizona.
Yes, they will get the ball back with precious seconds still left on the clock and an opportunity to do the same thing to the Gunslingers.
Right.
Ouch.
If you give the ball back to them and they do something unimaginable like return the kickoff for a touchdown, when does that ever happen, Leo? That doesn't happen, right? They don't return the kick all the way for a touchdown. That never happens. Yeah.
Well, except for in the third quarter of this game to start the second half. Yeah.
So it's already happened.
It's already happened to you
in this game. And so the smartest thing that they could possibly do was kneel the ball down at the 1 yard line, take the 1-point victory and win, because a 1-point victory is, and I checked this several times, still a win. Even if it's just 1 point. And so we take the 1 point, we take the victory, we're 3-3, and we go on into the rest of the season now with things feeling a little better. Chase Risman says, I believe I owe you an apology, Director Kinnick. The Gunslingers are not a bad team. I agree. They are not a bad team. Are they a good team? We get to find out. We get to see. Look, we've won 3 straight, but let's not pretend we didn't win 3 straight against Northern Arizona twice and Tucson, the lower echelon of indoor football right now, right?
True.
Yeah, it's true. I would say the Gunslingers are a great defensive team,
Yes.
but that doesn't always equate to a good team. We will find out. We're definitely improving on offense, though.
Yeah, the
There
offense
are
is looking
signs.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on up.
I mean, the biggest complaint the last few weeks has been, efficiency. And not great, but a lot better this past week, 3 of 7 on third down. So nearly 50%, but not quite there. And then fourth down, 2 of 2. So that's good. But third down efficiency could be better.
I mean, yes, you're right. Fourth down efficiency, 2 of 2, 100% on fourth down. But if you're better on third down, you don't need as many fourth downs.
That's true.
A couple of missed field goals. Not the best game for my guy Tyler Huddle.
Woo!
We were saying his name quite a bit on Saturday night.
Yeah, he did have the big field goal right at the end of the first half to extend the lead, but overall, missed field goal, missed extra point, not his best night. He would probably tell you that. He'd probably say, hey, I left some stuff out there, and I wish I'd had a better game. Not anything to get worked up about. We didn't need him here. We were able to win by 1 point without those kicks, without those points. If you miss a field goal and you miss an extra point and we lose by 3, then you go, Tyler,
dang it,
you could have won
Tyler.
this game.
Yeah,
but that's not what happened here. That's not what finally happened. So Leo, one of the things that you and I both like to do is we like to watch the game as fans the first time through, but then sometime between the game time and showtime on a Monday night, we both like to go back and take another look at the game, or at least parts of the game, so that we can see some things, clarify some things, understand some things. And there's a problem with that, Leo.
There's an issue.
Big problem. No likey. You can't, yes. Me no likey. It's not there. You can't go back and watch it.
If the game is broadcast on Yahoo Sports instead of overnight, then there's no opportunity to go back that we found. Maybe we're missing something. If we are, somebody out there tell us what we're missing.
Please.
But we can't go back and watch a replay of the games from Yahoo Sports. Not until, I think they're supposed to make them available like a week later on the IFL network, which is still a thing that's out there, but you don't have to pay for anymore. I think those games are supposed to be there, but not until a week later. Well, that's not when I need it. I don't need it a week later. I need it, after the game.
I need it on Sunday.
Yeah, I need it on Sunday or Monday morning or something along that line. So really, honestly, like everything that we're going to talk about tonight with this game is just like first blush. I didn't go back. Usually I have watched the games twice, even on home games. We watch the home game there live, and then I go home and I watch the replay of the broadcast so that I can remind myself of some of the things that's going on. And we just don't have that opportunity with these Yahoo Sports Network games. Yahoo Sports Network is free. It is something that you don't pay extra for, and so you kind of have to get what you get with that. But, almost anything I get on my TV, I can go back and watch. I can go back and stream. I can record things on DirecTV and go back and watch them multiple times if I want to. Mm-hmm. This is frustrating that I don't have the opportunity to watch this game through a second time and get the information that I need to get. So now I have to be like one of these guys in the, 80s and 90s that just looked at stat sheets and said, well, Fred
Right.
Payton went 12 of 19. That's really good. There's that.
Yeah,
But
you're
not
right.
even to rewind it, but I can't even see it for the first time. And so that's what's frustrating because people have other things to do and you can't
you're
even go
right,
back
yeah.
and try to watch it. That's the thing. You already saw it once, but what about the people who haven't even seen it one time?
James Palmer coming in here saying you need a VCR attached to
VCR.
the TV.
Oh,
What is a
Lord.
VCR?
Really going back.
What year are we in? What year? Who even has a VCR anymore?
I've never even heard of one of these machines. What's a VCR?
DVR, I guess, is what you would do nowadays digitally if you
Right.
have that
Agnes-
available.
Agnes Huddle says, can you record it on Prime? You know, I noticed somebody, I think it was Coach Bain, posted that the games were available on Prime. The Yahoo Sports Network games were available, or that this game was going to be available on Prime. I did not go research that and find it on Prime. But that's how they do. Agnes says we watch it on Prime.
Okay. Well, that's an option
all right.
now. Good to know.
For sure.
But can you rewatch it on Prime? That's the question. Or record it. One way or the other. I need that. I like to go back, even if I'm watching it live and I don't have to miss it. I like to go back and rewatch the broadcast so that I can talk about it on Monday nights on this little thing called the Smoking Guns podcast and, be a little bit more informed. Yes, informative. That's correct. Frankly, it sucks that you cannot go back and watch. I do not like this. Sam I am.
James Plummer says he believes Yahoo does show replays of the games. You just need to go look at the guide and see when those are. You mean I have to read their schedule and plan my viewing around when they're going to show me something? What is this? 1984. Don't make me get the glasses out.
Well, I do know they showed some highlights, but not the whole game in its entirety. That's the difference also.
There we go. I see old man Higginbotham.
Oh, here we go.
Look, back in my day, it was simple. All we did was we popped a tape into the machine and we programmed the clock. And then we made sure we were set on channel 3. We set the TV to the proper channel. And then we could not watch anything on the TV while it recorded the game. And then we could go back and watch the game again. It's very simple. It's very easy. Just do that. That's all you got to do.
That's it.
You just got to record the game on the VCR.
Does he have a name yet?
No, not as far as I know.
Well,
What character?
let's ask the
I don't know what
audience.
you're
What
talking
would be
about.
a good name for that character?
We're going to have a guest join us in a few minutes. An unplanned guest will be joining us in a few minutes. Bet you can't guess who it might be, who loves to pop on and talk with the Smoking Guns podcast, especially when he's got 3 wins under his belt. We might be seeing something from.
I was going to guess Coach Guy.
It's not Coach Guy. I have not heard from Coach Guy.
It was on the tip of my tongue. No,
that
Coach
would be
Guy,
something.
that would
Coach
be.
Guy, who, by the way, was fined by the league an undisclosed amount for his conduct during the Vegas game, and immediately responded with, "It's all political, and I'm gonna have something to say about this later." Just a stand-up awesome guy, Coach Kevin Guy.
Gotta love him.
I don't like the undisclosed amount. It makes me think of what's that old Eddie Murphy movie where they have the bet and they're changing people's lives and it's
$1. Remember
it's
they
for
had a bet
$1.
$1.
Mortimer and his brother, yeah. Yeah, I could see that sort of thing going on here. Yes, trading places. I could see that going on in this situation. You pay your fine of a $5 bill.
Well, we don't have to talk much about Coach Guy tonight. Instead, let's talk about a coach we all want to talk about. And let's talk to a coach that we all want to talk to. Coach Jonathan Bain joining us on the Smoking Guns podcast. Coach Bain, does 3-3 feel better than 0-3?
Sure as heck does.
I bet it does.
Sure as heck does. No, we're excited. Big win. Love how the guys kept fighting. It's a unique game, very unique game. Only having 6 possessions on offense is pretty rare in the indoor game, which means you got to capitalize on the higher percentage of them to give yourself a chance. But yeah, it's a good to get out of Northern area, out of Prescott Valley with a win, because it easily could have went the other way with the situation. You know, they're at the end of the game on the half-yard line, defense bowing their necks, and then offense, you know, finishing off the game for us.
So we started the show today talking about the decision to kneel down at the 1 yard line instead of carry the ball into the end zone for the 7-point lead, but time's still on the clock. Talk a little bit about leading up to that and what your instruction was, because that's obviously a coaching thing. Hey, we're not wanting to score here. We're wanting our win is running down the clock to triple zeros, not putting 6 more points on the board, right?
Yeah, it was a no-brainer for me. Just being in this game and seeing crazier things done with even less time on the clock, right? We score there. I believe there was 32 seconds, because I looked up. We had 40 on the play clock. There was 32, so it just went out. But that was in the huddle. That's what we said, because they called a timeout prior to that to stop the clock. I said, guys, we get a yard. All we need is a yard, really an inch. We need to move the ball, advance the ball. If it parts like the Red Sea, I know it's tough, right? But, you know, that's what we got a team full of selfless players, and for the benefit of the team, KJ made the best play you can make in this game, the most unselfish play you can make. You know, it'd have been easy for him to just walk in, get that touchdown on the stat sheet, but then you still leave it up for chance, right? But by laying it down right there, sacrificing your personal, you know, whether it be goals or personal success for the team's success, speaks volume on him. And it did. It parted like the Red Sea. I mean, that was the biggest hole we had all night, and he could have walked in. But just for him to go down right there is everything we preach. It's everything we coach. And he exemplified that in that manner and allowed us to get out of there without giving them a chance.
So does Jonathan Bain, the quarterback, do that same thing and take that dive at the 1 yard line? Or does
I've done
Jonathan
that same
Bain,
thing.
the quarterback?
I've done that numerous times. Yeah, it's kind of one of those weird deals, and he's young, you know, a rookie, and you know, a really good ball player, and deserves all the touchdowns. He runs really hard for us, and it's part of the game, though. Like I said, you can't ever be selfish and play this game and be successful. That right there exemplified that, and just shows, like I said, his character and that it's bigger than him, you know, and sure, you know, their backs against the wall. We'd have been up, you know, being that we made the extra point, it gave an 8-point lead. Still gives them a chance, though. Why even give them a chance? Why even take that risk? I've seen crazier things happen. Yes, we have a good defense, and would believe in them 100%, which is why I went for it on 4th and 12. They're up 1, right?
Yep.
Believed in our defense, but also with that decision was wanting to, you know, I wanted Fred to know we believe in him. And I've been in his shoes, right? You get a call like that, and you get the nod to go out there, and we're planning on executing. It wasn't a coin flip. We wanted to execute. We thought we had him dialed up, and I mean, in the football terms, he threw a seed. You know, he did. He right in between. You know, it looked like 3 defenders, but from our view on the field, right where the window was, on time when it had to be there, and Deion McShane making the catch. You know, really. Just the coach in me, right? We want to see more points. We're on offense. You know, I'm the offensive coordinator and all the things, and take pride in the offense. But really and truly, we got stopped one drive. The fumble would be the second drive. We didn't have any snip back on the sidelines again, which has been a just headache for a coach. And you see how important those times out. So I have a hard time, especially when the players aren't adamant about it. You know, if he's not adamant and saying, I threw that ball, you know, it's hard for me to roll the dice. It just is, because you see the timeouts worked in our favor right before the half. We used all 3 of them to get the ball back with 3 seconds, and look, we got 3 points out of it. With 2 timeouts right there, we don't get the ball right before half, you know. So there is a rhyme or reason to everything, and you know, but just to give you all the honest opinion, we had no snip back footage on the sideline in the first half. It was horrendous, and as much as important as those timeouts are to me, and you talk to any coach that's been around this game, you know, it's just hard to roll the dice on that, because then if we lose, it's like I had no backing of that decision to challenge it. Where I was standing on the field, there was linemen blocking it, so I didn't know if they hit his arm and it fell out, if it slipped out. You know, there's a million different things you can talk about there, but you know, I did I do appreciate the fact that it worked out in our favor to have all three still in our pocket. Sure, would I have given anything to have footage and say, yes, that is a challengeable deal and get that ball back right there and have a chance to put 6 on the board. But it's kind of one of those deals you live with. You know, it's tough. You hope they get it right on the field, but they're humans too. You know, I don't give refs too hard of a time. I mean, we all make mistakes. If I had somebody jumping down my throat for every mistake I made, you know, that'd make for a miserable time. But yeah, so, you know, respect them guys. It wasn't the right call. It was, you know, what it was. But I think what I took most out of this game was there's things that happened in this game for us to secure that win that you can't even imitate. You can't even start to think you could imitate it in practice. And that's putting the ball on the half-yard line with 3 downs and stopping them. Full-fledged, right? You're in practice, so you don't want to cut your guys. You ain't, you know, chopping them below. You ain't taking them to the ground and all that. And then getting the ball on the half-yard line and saying the ball's in your possession. How are you going to finish this game? You know, and for us to answer that call and move down the field and take what they gave us and all the different things that led to that drive, man, that was my most proud moment of this season for our guys was, I mean, that's tough, guys. I mean, it looks, you know, a lot easier than what it is. And these guys answered the call. And man, when you're a football coach and you have a chance to end the game with the ball I mean, there was still like 3 or 4 minutes left, you know, so you got to really put together a drive. You can't get huge chunks, you know, so play calling gets a little different. Decision-making for the quarterback gets a little different. We challenged our offensive line, which played tremendous all night. Don't worry about the snaps. That was a communication error. It wasn't bad snaps. I mean, we had AJ for a day, you know, so the snap count cadence was a little off early. So the ball you saw snap behind. But, man, I have to tip my hat to them guys, and especially AJ stepping in, being a part. You know, he's fresh out of college. He was part of the draft process and had a mini camp deal and stuff. So never seen an indoor, you know, game in his life. And to come out there and, man, you can see the way we ran the ball. KJ had a lot of success. Fred had time in the pocket. I mean, we're excited where we're headed with that group.
What an incredibly intelligent football play, too, that Fred makes on that snap that gets over his shoulder into the end zone. He picks up the ball, finds a receiver, flings it out that direction with no intention on completing the pass because that's not what he needs. No. He needs that to fall incomplete, but he does everything he needs to preserve. Like, that could go all kinds of wrong, and
I mean,
Fred does a great job of doing it.
For one, if he panics back there and don't pick up the ball, they fall on it, that's 6 points, and talk about a momentum swing. Heck, if he picks it up and they tackle him up or touch him and he touches the board, that's a safety and the ball. I mean, that play right there was so big in so many different aspects. I mean, heck, if he don't get it past the line of scrimmage with a receiver not in the area, that's a safety. It's intentional grounding in the end zone. I mean, there's so many different things that I mean, Fred Payton's coming around. I believed in him. You know, I thought he's always had such a high ceiling. And he's just getting better every week. And, you know, even on some plays, you know, he missed. And this ain't knocking him. He was the first one to come off to the sideline. Man, you know, I missed my read here. I should have went there. And we got a streaker. On that one drive, we did get stopped, which is promising, right? It's 3rd and 15. We dial one up. And front side corner got nosy and jumped the out. And we still threw the out. But in reality, the go was running by himself, you know, down the wall. But Fred knows that, right? And of course, you can't just live with that, you know, every game. Like, dang, coach, I missed, you know. But for him to come to the sideline and that's me. I got it. You know, I wasn't disciplined with my eyes. I was just trying to pick up the first. Well, you know, you got to know, too, they're thinking about the first down marker on a 3rd and 15. So sometimes, believe it or not, you actually get behind the defense a lot of times because they're so worried about that first down marker. They're told play the sticks, you know, and they get nosy. And, you know, they got us on that one. And that was, you know, the one real stop they got on us. But just the way he comes to the sideline, when we do have snip back, gets on the iPad, the way Joaquin on the sideline, like Joaquin's such a tremendous teammate, the way he helps with things he sees, because we're all in the same meetings together, right? We're all game planning together. We're all talking the same lingo. So he's awesome to have over there to help and the most encouraging guy on the team, you know. So that quarterback room's special, and Fred's getting better every week, you know, and I know, you know, the wins, right? I've been asked a lot of questions about, you know, how does it feel? Y'all did get 3 wins. They were against the bottom tier team. Well, I'm sorry, but in this game, it's pro ball. They had 8 new players. You know what I'm saying? 8 new players. It's pro ball. They're trying to keep jobs too. So teams aren't just slouches. They're not just pushovers. And it's not, just giving them more credit than they deserve. But, that's a professional football team with young guys that are hungry, trying to get out of here as well, and put their best football out there. And Coach James is a really good coach in the history of the game, ever since the old Arena League. So they came prepared. They had a good game plan, kept the ball out of our hands. You know what I mean? Long drives. They had a 7-minute drive at one point. I mean, that's insane in the indoor game. Defense played well again, but I told them.
I always find it amazing when people say something like that. Yeah, you won 3 games, but they were against, Northern Arizona and Tucson, and I'm like, but if we'd have lost those games, you wouldn't let me hear the end of that.
Yeah.
So those are my 2 choices: is to win the game or lose the game.
Yep.
And if I lost it, you wouldn't let me forget that. So
I
might as well take the wins when I get them.
And that's how we felt. And of course, we're getting more confident and feeling better about ourselves just on an execution standpoint. But I wish people really knew what it takes to pull that win off there. With the situation we put ourselves in, the kick return in the third quarter, we were trying to go for a deuce, but we hit a line drive right to the dangerous returner. That kid is special. And that's the worst thing you can do. Our kickoff team isn't even to our 20-yard line yet by the time he's bringing it down. So at the best shot, you're going to meet him at the 25, but he makes one guy miss. It's off to the races. And so that kind of failed us there. But, and it's football, right? Those plays are going to be made. It happens. You don't want it to, but it does. But like I said, what we can take from this game, and I told our coaches, because I'm tough on these guys, right? But it's the standard. It's the expectation. I don't want anybody ever come. Heck, we're liable to score 70 soon, and I'm still going to have something to say, right? That's just what this is. Mm-hmm. You want to try to be perfect, right? You're never going to be, but you got to at least strive for that. And but I really was, man, more proud than any win we've had this season or any game with how we finished. I mean, I can't say that enough. Like, I get it. It was Northern, they're 0 and whatever. I get all of that. Watch them upset a team here soon. Mark my words on that one. Sure. It's football. It's pro ball at that. These guys, just like when we were 0-3, they may have came in here and overlooked us, and then we smacked them, right? Got a good little win on them. And then, you go to Tucson, we're 1-3, they're probably thinking the same thing. Oh, they're 1-3, but we know what we're building, and who knows who's not to say that's what they're trying to do over there, and they just couldn't catch a break. And hey, man, Ralph, win by 1 or win by 30. I'll take it every day of the week, as long as it's a win. But a lot of growth, and it just sticks to kind of what I'm still standing on, what I told y'all at 0-3, man. We trust our process. We trust what we put in every day, and let Saturdays take care of themselves. And we are working our tails off. I'll give you that. We are putting it in.
Yeah, speaking of growth and getting better and being proud of the guys, let me throw a name at you, Coach Bain. Missing most of the beginning of the season, and then Glenn Gibbons comes out 2 games, and he answers with he has 3 touchdowns in this game, a touchdown in the first game last week. Leads the team in receiving this week with 4 catches and 3 touchdowns. How good is it to have Glenn Gibbons out there for you?
Man, he's special. Glenn, it's that cliche saying, but seriously, he's a better human and teammate than he is even a ball player, and his ball play speaks for itself. Glenn's awesome, great leader, cool, calm, and collected, man. Glenn he's the man. But heck, the first play of the game, I don't know if y'all could see that good on the TV version. They jumped off sides, and he killed the guy on a corner route wide open, and we overthrew him. But Glenn's special. I love Glenn. Like I say, he's such a good teammate. He's got so much respect from his peers, and he just balls. Glenn Gibbons going to ball. He answers the call every time you call his number. He's an elite route runner, a very elite route runner, and it's good to have him healthy and rolling. And everybody loves having him on board because you never know what type of big play he's going to come up with, and just his knowledge of the game, right? He's won 2 championships in the IFL back-to-back, one with Naz and one with Arizona. So kind of a welcome home party. He had some fans there wanting his autograph and all the cool stuff. But Glenn's a fan favorite, a team favorite. He's such a good dude and earns every bit of it. We preach earn it, right? Well, he earns it every day. He's a vet and still outworks everybody every single day, shows up ready to go, doesn't say a word. You won't hear him complain. Even during his injury, right? He's trying so hard, coach, I'm ready to go. And it's like, you got to protect him from himself, you know? And for this reason, right now, he can get out here and have a welcome back party, right? A huge score for us in Tucson right before the half, along with some huge catches. And then you got him, you know, for 3 touchdowns on 4 catches this past week. So pretty efficient on Glenn's part. Cook's okay. He's a little banged up. We're just going to monitor it day by day and see. Who knows? Maybe he needs a little rest. Nothing serious, though. Nothing ligament-wise or anything. Just has a really, really, really tough situation going with, a deep bone bruise on the kneecap. And every time you bump it, it just swells up on you. And but he's doing well. He does his part, right, in the training room and everything to get right. It's not that he's injured, but he's hurt. And it hurt us going out like that. I mean, you saw at one point, I don't know if y'all noticed it happened, but Rivers came to receiver for a drive. You probably didn't notice that.
Catch that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, we don't got a lot of depth on a 22-man roster. So having him go down in that first drive, not only the player he is, it handcuffs us with numbers. But yeah, like I said, just with the injuries, with whatever, the way the offense responded, and I'm just super proud of them and our O-line, man. We went from that being, no knock on the guys the first 3 games, but that was
a liability.
It was
a liability.
And we signed AJ. His name's AJ Vaipulu. I might pronounce that wrong, but out of Washington State, an animal. We added Malik Williams at guard. Tremendous. He actually played for Coach Castaneda at New Mexico State last year. Just somebody that kind of barely missed out on the draft and waiting on a call any moment. So as much as we love having them here, those guys could end up elsewhere any day, any time of the week. So super
enjoy them while we got them.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're playing their tails off. They really are. So it makes a lot of things a lot smoother on offense. I mean, it makes your quarterback more comfortable. You're able to establish a run game, which then takes the pressure off the receivers and stuff, having to run routes with teams dropping 6. Sometimes you'll see teams against us early in the year drop 6 defenders, a D lineman, a linebacker, because, they didn't really fear the run game just because we weren't getting a lot of movement. But now, it's a different approach. And you see even my play calling, I tell them I don't have just a system. We call plays based on what you give us. If we run it 50 times in a game, it's probably because you gave us the numbers to run it 50 times in a game. If we throw it 50 times, it's probably because that's where you're vulnerable. So that's what, I appreciated from the coaches I've played for. It's not really like I call this play on this down because it's this yardage. No, we call plays based on what you're giving us and how the flow of the game's going, and the guys are starting to get better at executing that. And I know it ain't flashy on the scoreboard, 30 points, but in reality, like I said, we really got stopped one drive, Right. And it's just we weren't offered that many drives, but that means you got to be even more efficient, right, to win a ball game. So, but overall, proud of the group.
You have 80 points on the scoreboard, but you don't have the mark in the W column. What good is that, right? I mean,
an example of that is Tulsa. Just being honest, they're 2-4 now. Yeah. Guys, they've lost 3 games scoring 58+ points. That's tough. Yeah. That's tough. It don't take away from how good they are. It doesn't. It's just, like I say, man, you just can control what you can control. Sometimes the ball bounces that way. Sometimes they leave a little extra time on the clock for the other team and they go down and throw a game winner, just like Orlando did against Fishers on Saturday. I mean, like I say, man, I know, and I'm a fan of football, right? I'm a Cowboys fan. Cowboys right now, if they keep acting the way they do every other year, it's Cowgirls during the season. But Cowboys, because we do got a good shot.
For now.
But, and I get it in records and you look at all that in numbers and you want the eye-popping stuff. But, if I could say anything to y'all, the fans, everybody that supported the Gunslingers at 0-3 and then now on is be proud of these guys. They really do go out there and represent the city of San Antonio well. And more importantly, they fight their tails off. There's no quit in them. I mean, even when we got smashed by Vegas, right, we're still pushing to score the ball. Like it is, there's a lot of fight in this group. And that's some stuff you can't really coach a lot of times. You can teach a guy how to do this, do that. But the mentality of guys, you can help tweak it a little bit. But it's either in them or it ain't. This group's got we got a solid core for sure.
Coach Bain, I gotta address this. James Palmer says Cowboys won't win till Jerry goes and flies some kites. I got to tell you, James, as a Cowboys fan, my biggest fear is Jerry leaving, shuffling off this mortal coil. I do not want Stephen Jones, who thinks he's as good as his dad, but he's cheap. He won't spend the money in charge of this team. The worst day for the Dallas Cowboys is going to be the day that Jerry heads off to the great beyond, because that means Steven's in control and we're in trouble. We're in real trouble. So
we're going to
I
lose
just
with
got
that one, James.
I got to pray that Jerry spends the right money and gets the right pieces in place to get us to the promised land.
We've done that this offseason. I'm sorry. I mean, not to get off Gunslingers topic, but that is truly it's promising. It looks good, man. We addressed the needs we needed. And, I mean, you see how deep we are at the D-line. Our defensive backs looking great. Linebacking core. Receivers, right? Got all the weapons in the world, even adding Valdez-Scantling.
Yep.
I mean, that's a great role play. You know what I mean? That's a really good addition to already a 2-3 headed monster. So, yeah, I mean, it's looking promising, but
lots of good things for the Cowboys. So on your schedule, you are 3-3 now. You kind of hit the reset button on the season. It's a shorter season now, but you're starting at 500. Your first game is against Tulsa. Nobody knows what anybody looks like. That ends up being such a coin flip of a game. It really could have gone either way. Then you play two of the best teams in the league. They proved that out over the season. You take a couple of losses there. You play three of the, bottom tier teams. You win those 3 games. Now you're headed up against San Diego at home. On paper, this looks like a pretty even matchup. This looks like a 3-3 team and a 4-2 team. And if you guys win, you jump over them just, based on the way the records work.
Right. Yeah.
How excited are you to really get a gauge of this team against a team that is kind of right there in your wheelhouse, in the same sort of area you are?
Right, yeah, and a veteran team, with Nate Davis and that receiving core. He's got the same receiving core. They got a good thing going out there. Lost a close one to Tulsa, lost to Arizona early. So, their losses are valid. Played some good ball, came down to the last drive of the game against Tulsa. I always, and I preach it to my guys, and I'm not going back on what I say, but I always tell them we attack scheme and personnel. We don't attack, I don't care what jersey they got on, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, I got to be a realist too. I'd be a fool not to say, I'm very excited to see where we stack up because, I have the same kind of mindset, even though I'm very proud of these wins. It's like, hey, and no shot at the teams we played, but I'm like, the game of football, you're always taught you have to win the ones you're supposed to win. And if we, and even though we were in their category, right, we were 0-3 when this whole streak started. We were in their category, but deep down we knew where we were and where we were headed, that we thought we matched up well against them, and so getting that out of the way and making that happen, always, like I say, a good feeling. But now it's like, hey, these teams, this is a playoff team. This is a semifinal team the last 2 or 3 years. I don't know. It's been 2 for sure. This is with the same core group of guys, same offensive line. They actually added in a piece. So it'll be a really good test, but I tell the guys, don't make it bigger than what it is. At the end of the day, as long as we are working on our stuff to be the best version of the Gunslingers we can be, let the rest take care of itself, but in reality, talking on this, it is a great test. It's to see where we're at, and we're in that 4th seed right now. It's always, you love that, don't you, Phil? If the playoffs started today,
if the playoffs started right now,
right. But with Tucson taking another in-conference loss, it kind of creates a little more separation there. But it really puts us in a really good spot, a very good spot to come out with a W on Saturday. And just like every team in this league, right? They're beatable. They're a very good team, not to take anything away from them, but I'm still waiting on us to play that truly complete game. Mm-hmm. And I mean this, and it's not just, hopeful saying, we're right there, man. We're right on the, about to get over the hump, and we're really excited about that. And, what better day to do it than Saturday, what better opportunity. And that's what I tell them. And we have a chance to get closer to that over the hump, if you will, or that complete game tomorrow, right? Today we have another opportunity to do so. And I love it for the guys because we do push them hard. I'm tough on them. 1 second, please. Sorry. Monroe says hi.
Okay.
So anyways, going and, just handling our business and trust in the process throughout the week. I don't want it to just be words being said to them, and they truly are buying in. And it may be a 1-point victory. It may be a 10-point victory with only 35 points on the scoreboard. You know what I mean? And I told them they're kind of messing with our scoring here. Our last 3 wins, we've actually ended with the ball and kneeled twice and then laid down on the one. So that's hurting our points per game. But I told them I could give a care less about that as long as we end with a W. I mean that. And it just teaches it helps me with more experience, right? Coaching, but it helps me in situational situations. And then it helps the team understand, why the heck did I lay down when I had a chance to score a touchdown? I'm up for whatever award, or whatever. It just shows them that it is bigger than all of us, and that there's a real rhyme and reason to every single thing that we do. And as a coaching staff, we work our butts off to help put these guys in the best position possible to be successful. Maybe not personal success, but for the team success, which then ultimately leads to the personal success. It just comes in by nature. So that's where I'm at with all that.
Well, I was going to say, Coach Bain, I know W's always bring in the fans, but not to deviate too much. But one thing that we saw this week was that you were out in the community and you took some players to the Sunshine Cottage. And I know, or you may not know, but I'm a speech language pathologist. So I have worked with the special education population. And I think you going out there and the team going out there really is going to make a difference. So can you talk a little bit about that? I know we're talking about wins, but to me, that is a W.
That's the most important part. That's the most important part of our job. Honestly, it really is. Like I tell everybody, we're in a vehicle called football, and it's really, really cool, right? But it's temporary and it does run out of gas. Why not impact and be some sort of inspiration or whatever it may, just make somebody's day, right? That's what you're part of, right? That's the platform you're given. Go out and, just be a light in this dark world. It's reality. And if enough lights shine, it drives out darkness, and so just to go, I personally, let me backtrack. I was scheduled to be at that event. I was not able to make it. So Coach Charles Williams filled in my void, our defensive line coach. And they had a blast, man. They all had their own personal videos and just the excitement on those guys' faces, my players and the kids' faces in the videos. And then the report back from the school, and also Robert, who went and videoed it, could not say good enough things about these guys. And I tell them, that's what really matters. That's part of that whole give over get, right? Give what you got, man. And it don't have to be just football. It don't have to be monetary. It's just give what you got. You're a blessing. I hope each and every one of these players is still the same preach. You don't have to be here. You get to be here, and treat it as so, and you get to go visit those kids, right? And you get to go do these things, because at the end of the day, man, who are we if we're not out here to just, make the world a better place? Like, really, what is your place? You'll never have no fulfillment, true fulfillment. You'll never have true joy. I promise you, in the group of guys we sent out there, and we could have selected anybody, but those 4, very personable, big 6 people, personalities. I promise you that filled their cup more than scoring a touchdown on Saturdays. And I mean that. And that just speaks volume on them. But it's kind of the culture we want here in San Antonio. I told everybody, as competitive as I am, and I know the only way I keep a job is winning games. But I'd rather lose the right way than win a few here and there the wrong way, and I think we got the right guys, and we're going to do it the right way, and whatever that entails. I can only think and hope that it leads to a lot of victories, right? Because they're great athletes, that's understood, but just the human that's in them and the impact they made on those kids' lives that day, those kids will carry with them for the rest of their life, whether it's the San Antonio Gunslingers or the Dallas Cowboys. They don't know you know what I mean? To them, it's a figure that they can look up to, and it's very inspirational to them. And who knows? And I hope it did. Maybe one of the kids are having a bad day that day, and it just brightens their day and makes them look at life a little different, whatever it may be. That's me, and I'm not trying to get on a pedestal and preach here, but literally that's our goal in life, man. I think that's why we're put here. And these guys have a unique vehicle to be able to do that, right? More opportunities come to you when maybe you're a professional football player or something, to be able to access, go to a school. And we're working really hard to get more in the public to do that type of stuff. And it's not for a publicity stunt. It's for just true joy and fulfillment and maximizing our opportunity with the platform we're given. And I tell them that every day. I hope they all make it to the NFL. But in reality, I hope they take every lesson and blessing that comes with this game, this beautiful game of football that does have an end date. I hope they can take that and flourish in their lives as husbands, fathers, friends, mentors, whatever you want to call it. I hope they carry those same traits into whatever's next. Because it could be football for 10 more years, or it could be ended tomorrow. You never know. I mean, I didn't think I was going to wake up that day and my career be over. You know what I mean? And it's not a woe is me, but I do genuinely appreciate the game more for what it is, and it's bigger than just a ball game. It really is. That's why it sounds like I contradict myself, but I don't let the scoreboard dictate if we won the week or not, in a sense of who we were, what kind of effort we put in, yada. Because the scoreboard sometimes can't lie to you. Some things can just go a little funky to where it works out for them. But did we lose, and are we going to, stay true to who we are and believe in what we do? And the cool thing about the IFL, you get 16 games, right? So you have a chance to right the ship. So winning early is good. Not the first 3 weeks, but getting on this little streak, I don't care who it was against. It does build confidence. Winning is just as contagious as losing is. So you kind of carry yourself a little different, and not in an arrogant manner, but hey, if we put it in Monday through Friday, this could end up with a win. So, sorry there. How are Paige and Upshaw? Paige is still battling a little injury. We're working to get him figured out and get him fixed up. He's a great ball player for us as well. So, missing him is tough as well. And then Upshaw, I believe Upshaw's on the mend. Had just kind of not a true, like an injury to where he's out for a long period of time, but had a rib issue going in, after that first NAS game. Took a big shot on that last drive of the game. But doing good. He's doing good. Nothing broken, nothing like that. But if anybody's bumped their ribs, I mean, it hurts to sneeze, to cough, to laugh, to much less go get punched on some more by another grown man. So, no, he's doing good, though. We're hoping to have him off IR this week.
In that same vein, last week we got an opportunity to talk to Megan for a little while. Talk about just how important Megan and her staff, her interns are to you and your coaching staff. Sounds like they kind of make everything go all the way around Gunslinger Nation, not just on game days.
Yeah, no, they're tremendous. She's done a great job, always very communicative, and that's what I'm huge on, just the communication part. I mean, we have a report after every treatment of the exact breakdown of who's this, what their limitations are, what it is, who showed up for treatment, who's just, there's you run into a lot of situations in football. As much as I love our guys, you have guys, I'm hurting, I can't, but practice half the day. And it's like, but you weren't in treatment, so sorry, not happening, but very communicative. And then also all the other extra ins and outs they do with the equipment. And and then Leo, I never knew that was your son out there.
Oh yeah, Jesse. Yeah,
Jesse is the man. I had to finally walk up to him the other day because I watched y'all's podcast last week. I said, "Wait a minute, are you little Leo?" And he said, "Yeah,
Little Leo.
He's great." And
I'm sure he was super excited to be known as Little
he was
Leo.
laughing. He was laughing. I was just telling him, but no, I just genuinely appreciate, and I think there's 10 of them, if I'm not mistaken, interns that just rotate throughout the week, and there's not a drop off anywhere. They all bring the same enthusiasm, same energy. They're so caring of the players. They know what I appreciate them more than just, doing the treatments or doing, taping an ankle or serving water or doing the equipment is they take so much pride, every single one of them. And what I learned was the biggest part of injuries and stuff is the psychological part. You're talking grown men that have played at a high level their whole lives, right? Whether it been high school, they were the man, college, they were the man, here they're the man. And then all of a sudden you get an injury and you can't go, and you get an injury and you're worried about your spot being taken, or you're worried about this. Like the psychological effect on athletes is, man, there's studies all over the world on it, but it is a real thing. And I lived it, and to have people right there in your corner, rooting you on the whole time, they're tough on them too. That's what I love. They don't take no BS from them, but pushing them to the, to their limits and demanding the most out of them, but also showing them so much love and care. And it takes a special person to do that. Once again, a selfless person, somebody that genuinely gets fulfillment off seeing others succeed or seeing others be better. Right. It is very selfless. It ties into football, right? It's kind of seems to be the motto today is selflessness, but They've been tremendous, and they do everything and beyond, from filming to I mean, it's all hands on deck, from operations to everything, and I can't thank them enough. And they've been really great to us, and all of our players love them, and they get treated above and beyond. I told them sometimes, y'all relax, y'all spoiling these guys, but it's what they need though. You know what I mean? Honestly, when you're injured, you need a little loving. You know what I mean? You do. You need a little TLC, but they show tough love too, which I can appreciate and kind of keep the mentality right. So they fit what I wanted and envisioned in a football program, and being at the head coaching position. I couldn't ask for a better group there with all of them, and they've helped make our job easier, and are always there to lend a helping hand. It don't matter what we're doing. If we're serving food, they're, hey, how can we help you? Hey, if we're whatever, and man, it makes for a fun work environment. It makes a place you want to be around, people surrounded with the same mentality. These are all things that you can't put a dollar on. I'm being honest. It makes you not even think about your paycheck. You get to do it right. You get to go to work with these people and see how they also impact the lives of others. And as I've told you all, that's my whole goal. Obviously to win games, win championships, and bring it back to San Antonio. But I think you do that by impacting others, and they are a direct representation of that for sure. Special group.
Chase Risman has a question here, and I wanna give it to you, but I think he's missing something. He's asking, when will we see Lowell Patron make his Gunslinger debut? I think he was out there a couple of weeks ago for a few plays.
Yeah, he played against Naz that first week. Unfortunately, we went ahead and moved on from Patron. Great guy, great player. Just where we were at, we got a deep receiver room. He's a vet guy. So nothing against him. He was fantastic. Great guy while he was here. Great teammate. Worked his tail off. We just felt, we're going to stick with the group we had at the time and let him have a chance to go on and find somewhere to make an immediate impact. And wishing him nothing but the best.
Yeah, and for anybody that doesn't remember, the IFL limits the number of veterans you can carry on your roster if they've played more than 2 years or 3 years. It's 3 years. In any indoor football league, they are considered a veteran, and you're only allowed 7 of those on your roster. So
yes,
you got to be real careful with those numbers so that you can be within those guidelines. I think it's a stupid rule. I've yelled about it for 3 years now. I think it's a dumb rule, but it is what it is, and it is the rule, and so we have to play by it.
I'm kind of, I'm there with you 100%. But vets, I mean, sometimes they scare me, and I was one. So I got to be careful what I say here. But no, seriously, sometimes you develop habits at other places that worked that may not fit the culture. And this ain't on Patron. We're off Patron right now, so please don't take this.
Absolutely.
Lowell was amazing. He was fantastic, awesome dude, great character guy, worked hard, all the things. I'm speaking in general because this year, we are young. We have I don't have the number right now on our active roster. I know we started the season with like 17 first-year guys or 16. We didn't even reach our vet capacity. I think we had 4 or 5 to start the season. But sometimes habits are hard to break, and it might have worked somewhere else, and they might have been all pro at another team doing it the way they do it. But if it just don't fit, I like these young guys, and it ain't always beautiful at the beginning, right? I'm not totally blaming that on the 0-3 start, but it doesn't help, having first game ever in the history of your life in the indoor be against some premier teams. But I do appreciate and enjoy the coaching side of this, right? We signed them because they're talented. Now it's on us, right? Now it puts your coaches on the spot to say, hey, coach them up, teach them this game, teach them everything they need to know. And if you have the right mentality of guys and they're willing to learn and want to be great, well, then it just broadens you as a coach, right? I'm only getting better every single day because I get to do this and have the guys to work with around me. And then you just start seeing it just traject this way. It's hard to peak, because these guys are just getting their feet wet, man. I mean, in reality, this is 6 games in. I mean, these rookies are, yes, they're getting experience and they're getting this, but they're just getting their feet truly wet to where it's like, okay, now they're starting to see the nuances of the game. Heck, it took till week 6 for us to see a situation like we were in, back against the wall, about to score. We stop them. Okay, how do we orchestrate a 3.5-minute drive to where they don't touch the ball again? How do we do that? Well, now they're getting to see it live in the flesh. Even though we practice these things, you will never truly get the real feel until you're under the flying bullets, like until they're just flying at you, and it's you got to make it happen type of situation. So yeah, so just to see their growth, and I mean this, is, you know, we have to keep winning by any means necessary. But as this season rolls along, I think you're going to see a lot more growth in this group, a lot more consistency. You know, that's where you start becoming more towards like a great team, is when you have consistency, doing it over and over and over again, because that's just who you are. You know, we're a long way from where we want to be, but we're right there. If that makes any sense to anybody, I hope y'all are picking up what I'm laying down. We're a long way from where we want to be, but we're right there, you know, and it's just going to take work. Hard work works, man. And we're not going to shy away from any work. I promise you that.
And Coach, how many veterans do we currently have right now on the team?
Ooh, you put me on the spot. Not seven.
Not seven. Okay.
Let me. Terry.
Website. I'm cheating. I got the website up on the roster, and it looks like you got Gibbons,
Terry Beckner, Christoph's on IR, so he technically don't hurt the vet, but we can count him as a vet.
James Dallas Jr.
Oh yeah, Dallas. Yep, he is. Yep. So 4.
And Terry. Yep.
Terry. Yep.
Okay.
Once again, great vets though, guys you want in the locker room, guys that lead in the right direction, guys that truly, you know, help echo what we preach, you know, amongst the guys, because it's different hearing it from your coach, and then if you got teammates believing in that same thing and they're echoing the same message, you know, it's huge to have them. And just to speak on Terry's been tremendous for us in that aspect.
And that just shows the difference in the way the Gunslingers as a whole are approaching putting a team on the field. I don't want to mention any names, but we had some folks here before that were having to play shell games with veterans and shuffle guys in and shuffle guys out because we really had too many on the roster, and we could not go into a game day roster with all of the talent that we had because so many of them were veterans. And so they had to shuffle some guys over to IR and again, just play this shell game to make this happen within the rules. It just goes to show that we're doing things different now.
Yeah. And vets are needed, you know. I mean, vets do help you, the right ones. They do, you know, just like experience is the best teacher in the world of anything you do. But it also, like I said, when you're really, and this is my first year here, right? First year in this role, not only just with but my life, you know, and, you know, who knows, maybe I'm just wrong with everything. I'm not sitting here saying I'm right, but you know, the culture that I want and the mentality of the team and just everything that I want us to stand and represent, maybe the vets, and that don't mean they're bad players. They could work perfect somewhere else, but sometimes it just don't work that way. And the way I see it is you take a rookie, the ceiling is, you know what I mean? There's no ceiling right away. You vets, you kind of know what you got. And a lot of vets don't just improve every year. They kind of peak. You give me a rookie that's just as talented, and like I said, it puts me to the test. Let me coach him up. Let me see him find a way, whatever that means. It may be different. Like I tell you all the time, I coach this one different than this one, than this one, than this one, with the same expectations, but maybe a different deliverance, or maybe a little extra on this, or a little less of this, you know. And then if they don't work out, it's the hard part of this game. But you have the luxury of signing more guys, and the more I'm in this role, like the NFL draft just ended. I mean, I get 100 emails or texts or calls a day that says, "Hey, I missed the draft. You know, can I come play?" And it's like, oh, well, you're in the draft. I mean, you probably can play football. Well, I bet you I can teach you to this game, you know, and I embrace that challenge. So you can always, you know, if a guy ain't up to your standards, you know, week in and week out, well, then you can just replace them. It don't have to just be a vet. It don't have to. And like I said, there is a time and place for vets now. I don't want to ever take away from that, but it's got to be right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, James, I keep seeing that. My family's been telling me about that. I don't really obviously get to watch the games on TV, but yeah, they've been telling me that. So you know, I'll take it, whatever works.
Yeah, James Palmer pointing out that every time they interview you on the IFL broadcast, it always says second year as the Gunslinger head coach, and I'm always going, I must have been asleep a long time last night because that's not the way I remember it.
I ain't been out of playing that long to be able to be a second year head coach.
Ralph Judkins asks, how are you feeling now deep into the season as the head coach? What has gone exactly as you thought it would? I bet that's a short list.
Yeah. None. No. What's gone exactly? I guess it's preaching the mentality of the guys, the character of who we are. I mean, and don't get it wrong, because when I speak character, just know the topic of conversation this week was the personal fouls. That's not us. That's not who we are. And I don't care who you are, what your resume says, what you've done for us, even as of late. I told you I would rather lose doing it the right way than win doing it the wrong way. I just mean that, because I think that's going to catch up to you. You win. Say we're 5-0 right now, but we're doing it the wrong way. Well, it's going to bite you in the butt at some point. I'd much rather do it the right way, take your lumps, continue to do it the right way, and I think you benefit from that in the long haul. So that's all being addressed. But I think what's gone as wanted to or as planned is developing a culture where guys love to play. I hope they do. I mean, they don't tell me any different, but I see, on Saturdays their effort that I feel love to play for. I would do anything in the world for their success. And I also just want to, the hard parts, the things. And I have an answer for you from last time when you asked me, Ralph, and it was a no-brainer, but I guess I had a brain freeze when he asked what the hardest part of being a head coach was that I did not expect. And it is letting go of a guy that does everything you ask of him. It really is.
Yeah.
A guy of high character that just maybe wasn't just good enough. Maybe in just that short span, maybe they're good enough, but maybe just in that short week at camp or whatever, they signed to you, with their livelihood on the line, hoping to, you can help them advance their careers. And then you have to tell them, you got to let them go do the numbers. Honestly, and I'm not even an emotional guy. I mean, I'm emotional in a sense of like passion and all that thing, but I'm just not but man, you talk about tug at the heartstrings is looking a man in the eyes and telling him you got to go. And when he asks why, it's like, you did everything right, but just wasn't quite good enough here just for right now. Doesn't mean you're not good enough. I hope I regret this decision. I tell every one of them that because I want them to succeed. It's just the sad part of the numbers game and the reality of pro sports. But letting a guy go is really tough, especially when they're, a knucklehead. That's easy. Hey, you don't fit the culture.
Yeah.
See ya.
Well, but sometimes you have two guys that fill the same role, and you can't carry two guys on the roster. So you got to let one of those guys is great, and it's gonna not be here anymore.
And it's gonna be an impact player. And it's you're seeing it. There's some guys across. We went down there this week, and two of them didn't get to play because they just signed them. But Naz had signed two guys we had cut 3. And I pray for their success. And I tell the coach right away, you got some right there. You got some good ones. They were as good as could be with us, and it just was a numbers game, and we're hoping the best for them. So at the end of the day, that falls back on just wanting to see everybody succeed, man. Whether it's here, there, or anywhere, we're all rooting for each other somewhere or another. Now on game day, I hope we come out on top, but I definitely pray for your individual success, though. I mean, especially if you do right by me, that's just the hard part about it. So Ralph, that circles back to last time I was on, but I was like, how did I not go there? That was, I'm even coming home talking to Morgan like, hey, I never knew this was the hardest thing. Like, I'm having a bad day now because I just had to let go 3 guys that did everything I could ever ask of them, And
yeah, that's tough.
Like, man, but.
So, Coach, I know you're talking about how being a head coach is a new role, and also you have a new role as a fiance. How do you work family and work?
Just trying to be present in both aspects, right? Being there and being fully engaged in both sides. It is part of the world that you sign up for. But, making sure when it's football time and she's amazing, just being a part of this game and knowing how the game works and knowing that it is my everything passion, is football. And like I said, the lives I get to impact. She's my biggest supporter and, allows the long days, late nights, early mornings. But also try to do my best, and I'm sure I fail at times, and she gives me grace, but at least being present and here and being the best I can be for her, both her and Monroe. And I think it's been going really well. And of course, I always wish I could do more. But just finding a happy balance. That's what you got to do in life in general, right? Everybody, whether it's football coaching or just life in general in your job. I strive to be the best I can at everything that I do. So maybe football does take a lot out of me, but also try to, counter that with being the best fiance and that I can be here at the house. And like I said, without her support, though, I couldn't imagine even being able to do it. Sure. but the support I get from them both, just, it brightens my day to come home. It's a, change of scenery. I don't have to yell. I'm yelling at all those guys all the time, and it's all intense. And as tough as I try to come off and rah guy with football, I like the, good, soft, sweet hugs and all the loving and all the things that they give, making me happy, and just, the joy Monroe is, and it just, like I said, it's a happy balance. It kind of keeps me level, and couldn't ask for a better situation there. So,
well, that's a great spot for us to let you get back to that part of your life. You are gracious as always to jump on anytime we have a show and give us some insight. We appreciate it, but we don't want to take your whole night up.
No, I appreciate y'all. Absolutely.
We're excited to get back to the Freeman on Saturday. See another great game, and see that gauge against San Diego and see where we are.
Absolutely. Again, can't say it enough. Thank y'all for what y'all do. For real. Appreciate y'all more than you know. I'll never stop telling you because it's genuine and I really mean it. Thank y'all for what y'all do for this game, for the fans. I know all the fans love this show. You always keep it real and always having our back. Like I said, through the good, bad, and ugly. We hope we're out there making y'all proud. That's what we shoot for. Prove the ones that believe in us right, So thank y'all for that. Guns up. Hope to see all y'all Saturday.
Guns up.
Thank you.
All right.
Love you.
Thank you, Coach Bain.
He is Coach Jonathan Bain. Just popping on. Like, we started the show. We had no plan on him coming on, and he texted me and said, "Hey, you want me to come on?" And I said, "Yeah, let's do that right now."
Good one. Good time.
I love the relationship that we're building with Coach Bain just as a show. We've had lots of coaches. We've had guys that we got along with great. We've had guys that we didn't get along with so great. None of them have been as transparent and as willing to jump on and just answer even the hard questions, even the stuff we throw at them that they don't like to answer sometimes. He's willing to do that. So I appreciate that.
We covered a lot in that time we were talking to him.
Yeah. He mentioned not having a chance to watch the games on TV, but I'm almost certain he probably knows that there's a group of fans that have been watching the games on TV the last couple of weeks and getting together. Right. So, and as a matter of fact, it's the team is paying attention to that because we had Randy Carroll himself and his wife Robin pop into the watch party on Saturday. So that was pretty awesome. We had a great turnout for those that didn't make it. We had 16 people there. That's not including Randy and Robin to watch the game at the watch party on the televisions up there that they had streaming from Yahoo Sports. So good time. It is great to see team support there with Randy, and even better. Don't know if Coach Bain knew about this or anybody else from the team knew about this yet, but the whole purpose of the watch party is not just to get together and share our enthusiasm, but it's also to show our enthusiasm for other people that might be around, other patrons. And we had a situation like that with people that were there having their Matanga's pizza, which is, best pizza you can get in town. And there's a family there enjoying their pizza and wondering what the heck was up on the televisions, and all these people were there to watch and being rowdy about, and they started watching the game, being curious about. And Randy went over there and talked with them for a while and told them about the team and what the San Antonio Gunslingers are all about. And I didn't see this myself, but I heard from someone else who was there that he even handed out some tickets to them. So they would be seeing them at the Freeman Coliseum, and that's what that's all about. So getting more people to be familiar with the San Antonio Gunslingers of the brand and what they're all about, and how really much they care and are striving to become a part of the community, which, as Coach Bain said earlier. So great stuff.
And they also donated tickets for Teacher Appreciation this week or last week.
Yep.
For teacher.
That's right.
So that's, awesome. They're really making some strides and some new friends and appreciation for not only the game, not only the players, but being part of the community.
Yeah. I can't wait to see the crowd grow in the Freeman Coliseum. And I got to, as Loli's, Philip pulls up Loli's comment here, got to give out. Yeah, she's totally right. Shout out to AJ from Matangas. He's kind of like, all the staff there is really great and very accommodating and helpful to all of us and doing whatever they can to help facilitate the group and the watch party. But AJ is kind of like the leader of the crew, and he really does everything he can, staying late after hours, making sure, you know, that we're still, you know, enjoying ourselves and comfortable and everything, even after the business is closed, because the game has such a late kickoff. So that's 2 weeks in a row now. So definitely big props to Matt and Matangas and AJ and all of those that are involved. As the Gunslingers fans, I'll say on behalf of them, a big thank you to all of those people that helped make that possible.
So now we head into a new week, a new game coming on Saturday, and it's going to be a fun one. We're taking on the San Diego Strike Force, one of those teams that I'm not sure. Have we ever beat them, Leo?
Come on, staff guy.
The Strike Force? No, I don't believe so. I don't think so.
I know our very first game in the IFL was a home game against San Diego. That was one of those coin flip kind of games where one or two plays goes the other way and we win. And we ended up taking a loss. And that's just what I think about. Every time I think about San Diego, it is that game, that first game where we were coming into the IFL, didn't know what to expect, and we rose to the occasion. It wasn't here. It was out in San Diego.
It was in San Diego.
Yeah. San Diego has played some good teams, some bad teams. They have a 42-40 win over NAS. So you want to gripe about a 1-point win? They have a 2-point win over Northern Arizona. They got thumped by the Rattlers. They have beat the Sugar Skulls twice, and they beat the Quad City Steamwheelers, and then they have lost to Tulsa. When you start to look at their schedule and our schedule, it doesn't look all that different. They have one extra win above us, and that's that Quad City game. That would be us winning like Vegas, which is not the same thing. Quad City and Vegas are not the same team. Everything else kind of lines up the same.
Time, right? The Quad City.
April Twatter asking, do we have a fan jersey this week? We do.
Ooh.
And if you stick around for a few minutes, you're going to see it. And you're going to buy it because it's awesome.
I did look up the history. On May 17th, 2025, the San Antonio Gunslingers defeated the San Diego Strike Force in a close overtime game, 49-48.
Was that a home game? Did I call that game? I bet I called that game.
Did you?
Was it a home game? Was it here in San Antonio?
I just looked it up and it doesn't say that. It just says that we defeated San Diego in a close overtime game, 49-48.
Ralph, did we call that game? Ralph's watching right now.
I need some trivia.
Remind me if we call that game and I'm just not remembering it. But, this is really going to be, we talked to, you did. Ralph says you did.
You did.
You called it. I think that's what he's talking about here too. A fluke kick away, fake fumble, lateral farce, regrettable. Lacayo. Yes.
Lacayo.
Yeah. I do remember that game now. You're right. So Chase is like, yes, you did. Okay, so everybody remembers me calling this game,
but you,
except for me. They all kind of run together.
Yeah.
At some point, when you call a game, you're getting from play to play. You're not really putting everything together into a whole game. Sometimes you're just getting from play to play. And so I don't necessarily remember. Now, San Diego has scored lots of points.
They have.
Their game against Quad City, they scored 73 points. That's pretty high.
I think their low for the season is 42.
I think their low for the season is at least 27. Yeah, it's 27 against the Rattlers.
27. Oh, I missed that one. Yep.
They have a loss to the Rattlers. They only scored 27 points.
That was one time.
Yeah, I really feel like this is a game where you really get a gauge of where we are. We've seen how we play against Vegas and Arizona.
They haven't played a defense like the Gunslingers.
No. Well, and there aren't other defenses like the Gunslingers. The Gunslingers have this this wholly unique perspective on the indoor game, and that is we are actually going to get stops. I can remember multiple coaches have told us over the years that it is a possession game and it's all about scoring on every possession and scoring as many points as you can, because you cannot rely on stops. And we are getting to the point now where we are kind of relying on the fact that we're going to stop the ball a few times, and that's going to give us the edge in the possession game. So this will be interesting. This will be an interesting game to take on. It is Star Wars night. That's WARZ, Star Wars night. I don't know what the giveaway is. I know in past Star Wars nights they've done lightsabers. I should probably find out if that is going to be the case this time, but I can show you that fan jersey that April was asking about. You know, Leo, in a couple of weeks, there's a new Star Wars movie coming. Did you know that?
I did know that. I want to see that. That's a good excuse to go get some. Well, I shouldn't advertise any particular movie theater, but I'll just say my favorite popcorn. Ooh. There's one movie theater in particular that makes my favorite popcorn.
Shout them out, man. You get an opportunity here to tell people what's good.
Alamo Draft House, their popcorn is just absolutely amazing. And it's bottomless. They bring it to you in a bowl, you know, and you can get as many refills as you want, so long as you just get the regular butter popcorn. But that's all you need, because that popcorn is amazing. It's my favorite.
Yeah, some big movies. There hasn't been a lot of excitement around the theater for me in my adult life. Like, there are some things that I absolutely will always go see in the theater, but Mandalorian Grogu, I'm going to see that one in theater. And then just a couple of weeks later, Masters of the Universe, although I'm sure it's going to be terrible. It does not matter. I grew up all about He-Man.
I'm nervous about that one, man. It's my childhood.
Man, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I think they're going to absolutely destroy it, but
yeah. The trailer is not promising, as far as not that it's going to be a bad movie, but it's not promising that they're going to take your childhood, if Masters of the Universe was part of your childhood, and just totally change everything about it.
I mean,
there's going to be 3 men in the movie theater: you, and Jerry. That's all I've been talking about.
Hey, that sounds like a good time for me. Come on, Jerry.
The problem here is there has already been one Masters of the Universe movie that was absolutely terrible back in 1987. It was awful. And I don't think you can do something with this property that both honors what I remember and the nostalgia I had for it and still be good. Have you ever gone back and watched the old He-Man cartoons? They're not good.
No, they're not good. But it doesn't matter.
Well, we didn't know any better. We didn't know any better.
Didn't. No, we didn't. Ralph Judd can say, are you going to root for Skeletor? I always root for Skeletor. You need to know my first and only that I can remember store-bought Halloween costume, you know, with the rubberized pajama thing and then the tiny thin mask with a little bitty rubber band. My only store-bought Halloween costume, Skeletor. That's my guy. Cool. I love Skeletor, way more interesting than He-Man. But with Mandalorian and Grogu coming out, we do have a fan jersey coming out. It's pretty awesome. Here you go. Star Wars night on Saturday, and you all get to go out and purchase your Beskar armor.
That is cool.
I love it.
San Antonio Gunslingers on the right arm, on the right arm, and then the Mandalorian symbol there on the left arm. You have that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to get that one. I'm gonna have to reach out to my son Jesse and ask him to head over to the merch booth and get me one of these.
Absolutely.
Well, Father's Day is coming up.
Hey, that is true. That is true.
That would make a nice present for Dad.
Absolutely. Very good looking. All black and white. You noticed that earlier, Leo, when I was showing you this. This is all black and white. It's grayscale. It's not all black and white. It's a grayscale kind of deal. But just a spectacular offering from Jordan and his group. And we'll see what other fun they have for us. I've got to text out to him about the giveaway to see if it's going to be lightsabers. I'm not sure just yet what they're planning on, but it's going to be another fun night in the Freeman Coliseum.
I'm dressing up.
What are you dressing up at?
Well, it's a surprise. See if you recognize me.
Oh, they got to come and see. They got to come and find out.
That's we already saw you as Chewbacca, as the Wookiee on the show
last year week. Or 2 weeks ago or last week. But no, I'm not going to be Chewbacca. It's too hot.
Yeah,
too hot. Yeah, no, that was warm. I was shocked that you stayed in that for the whole show the other night.
Me too.
Last week, even though it was a short show. James Palmer dressing up also, which is funny because I don't think he's a big Star Wars guy, is he?
He is now.
Chase Risman says, dress as Sabine Wren. Boy, there's a deep cut. James Palmer says, it will be as myself.
Oh, there you go.
Wah, wah, wah.
Are you sure, James Palmer? You're going to scare the kids. I'm just kidding. Be nice to the children. Think of the children. Just kidding. I'm just messing with you, James. We'll see what happens. I'm really curious. This is one of those games that you go into almost like the first game of the year where you're like, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what we're going to see. I know I have some information, but I don't even know how that information applies to this game. I know that we're on a 3-game win streak, but I also know who those 3 games were against. I know that we lost 3 games to start the season, but I also know who those games were against. And don't let the record fool you. Tulsa is not a 2-4 team. That's their record right now, but that's not it. But we go into this game and it's really evenly matched. What I can tell you is if we can find a way to pull off this win, I'm going to be very excited about them going to Tulsa next week on the show.
Revenge
because
time.
they have the confidence and they need the revenge for that first game of the season. If they pull off a win against San Diego, I feel like that just sets them up so well to go into Tulsa and get a win.
That's a home game.
Oh yeah, you're
Tulsa
right.
game.
Tulsa coming here. Tulsa coming here for a home game. Yeah, even better, even more.
Yep.
If we don't find a way to get the win on Saturday night, then I think that Tulsa game becomes another toss-up sort of game where I'm not sure, what we're going to see. But if we can get the win on Saturday night, I think it bodes well for the win against Tulsa the next week.
Yeah, the next 2 games are home games at 4:00. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't wait to get into the Freeman. What else do we need to cover? We've talked about Kevin Guy. We've spent a lot of time with Coach Bain. We've talked. Go ahead.
I'll say one thing that I really wanted to say when Coach Bain was with us because he kept touching on it, but I didn't want to interrupt him, and he was making some good points. Talking about his philosophy, but the whole thing about winning right. He'd rather win right than lose wrong. I think that's a good
lose
way
right than win wrong. I think is how he went. Yeah,
lose right than win wrong, but winning right is even the best. Is the best possible thing, right? But yeah, but he'd rather lose right than win wrong. Yeah, exactly. Minnesota Timberwolves.
Here we go.
Part of the game. part of the game in the NBA. I don't watch a lot of NBA anymore. I am supremely bored with drive in, kick out, shoot a three. And that's what the NBA has become. And it's boring and I don't like it. I used to love the three ball. It used to be my favorite part of the game. They have ruined it. So I don't watch a lot of NBA. But one thing I remember from plus my team sucks right now. But one of the things,
be truthful, Philip.
But one of the things I remember is that playoff basketball physically is just a completely different brand of basketball. It gets nasty. And I think the other night, last night, was it just yesterday?
It was just yesterday, yes.
Yeah.
That they just physically got under Wemby's skin enough that he did the thing you're not supposed to do. Right. And he got tossed for it. And it's unfortunate. It's not the way it should happen. The referees should control the game better than they do.
Oh, a lot better.
But Minnesota made a decision that they were going to play the game a certain way and they were going to get under his skin, and they did it. And taking the best player off the court, because I truly believe he's the best player in this series right now. You take the best player off the court, and San Antonio still just almost finds a way to win that game. I think it means a lot for the upcoming series, and I am excited. I have no dog in this fight. I don't care, but I am excited to see San Antonio and Oklahoma City. I'm very interested to see how that particular series is going to go, and I don't think there's any doubt that it is going to be San Antonio and Oklahoma City. Obviously, Oklahoma City is going to win that side of things. But when you can take Wemby off the court for the majority of the game and San Antonio just continues to stay with you step for step, you're going to add that guy back in. We found out today he's not going to receive any sort of suspension or anything like that. You put that guy back on the court, they're going to blow by you like you're standing still. I really think they're going to, I really think that Minnesota's in for it now.
Payback time.
I think that was their best shot, and they took it, and it's going to end up hurting them badly. So that's my from the outside in Spurs perspective, which nobody cares about, is that I think it's going to be a quick series from this point forward. I think San Antonio is going to make quick work of Minnesota, and then we'll have to see. Oklahoma City is playing really, 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 really good basketball right now.
Yes, we are.
So
everyone's jumping on the bandwagon.
We'll have to see what San Antonio could do against the team that might be the best team in basketball right now. The way it's gone, the Spurs lose 1, win 2. So there's that. Yeah, exactly. You lose 1, you win 2. I'll take that in a 7-game series anytime. That's the way I love to see that go down.
I did see 2 movies over the weekend. I saw
Michael
Jackson and The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yes. My daughter Abigail has been out to see Devil Wears Prada 2 already. She said it was good. She said it was a lot like the first one, and I'm like, well, that's what you want in a sequel. You want one that's recognizable. That's what everybody wants in a sequel. So well, let's see what happens for the San Antonio Gunslingers on Saturday at 4:00. I think they're figuring some things out. I think the addition of Glenn Gibbons has been huge.
Yes.
You mentioned it while we were talking to Bain. 3 touchdowns this week. He is really starting to become exactly what we said they needed a few weeks ago. That go-to playmaker kind of guy. When you score 3 touchdowns at a game, you're beginning to become that guy, and that opens things up for everybody else. The one thing I'd like to see more of, Leo, and I mentioned this to you before the show started, I'd love to see Fred Payton use his feet a little more. Not a lot, but just a little. Just make them respect the fact that you are athletic and you can hurt them with your feet. And I think that's going to open things up for your offense even more when they have to worry about you, not just running when you're distressed, when the pocket collapses on you, but running sometimes when that was the call, that was the plan. and getting some first downs that way, getting some touchdowns that way. If that happens and they start to, here's Ralph Judkins, dude is a low-key dual threat. I agree.
Mhm.
I think he's athletic enough to be that guy. And if he starts showing that to other teams and they have to start planning and scheming for that, I think it changes everything behind the line of scrimmage for the defense. They have to start paying attention to the quarterback, and that means guys are getting open and you have opportunities that you just don't have right now.
Gives a defense fits. I mean, that's what the San Antonio Gunslingers defense, if you could point at any one thing that they've struggled with, that's exactly that, the running quarterback. So even a good defense, that kind of gives you fits. Now, if you're not as good a defense as the San Antonio Gunslingers, which I don't think there are a lot of defenses in the IFL right now that are that good, even more so, if you present that threat, it's going to give them a real challenge.
James Palmer says when he runs, it seems like he needs to take off a little sooner. I agree with that. April Trotter saying we were hollering, "Are you in?" at the watch party. And Ralph Judkins also saying at the watch party, we were yelling to run. Hey, I wasn't even at the watch party, and we were all thinking the same thing. So if Coach Bain
signs that say run, run, run.
If Coach Bain or Fred are listening right now, let's work some more of those. Call them. I'm not even saying drop back, make a read, and then decide to run. I'm saying call the runs for Fred. More often, just so that they have to worry about it, just so that they have to start thinking about him as a threat coming out of the back.
A tad bit more. And I'm glad you bring that up. And I'm glad Coach Bain brought it up. And if he's still watching, the one of the things that fans do best is second guess coaches' decisions.
Oh yeah.
So we were really good at that at the watch party when not challenging that call of the forward pass or fumble, and it was ruled a fumble. That was another thing we were yelling there. And I was going to bring up for Coach and ask his thought process, but he brought it up himself, and that makes a whole lot of sense and understood. And I even think I saw in the comments, I saw Ralph Judkins saying that's the right call. If you don't have the evidence and you're not sure and you know how important these timeouts can be, well, then, that's the right decision. So 100% that explains it, because what we saw on the television, from what we saw, it very clearly looked like his arm was moving forward. The ball was going forward. It's ugly, but an ugly ball going forward is still a forward pass, not a fumble.
Yep.
So, but makes 100% total sense if you're on the field and not having the advantage of seeing that camera angle, and not risking the timeout, makes 100% sense and absolutely the right call, as it proved to be.
One of my absolute favorite movies of all time that we have not covered yet, Leo, is A Few Good Men.
Ooh,
and in that, I learned one of the most important things about law from that movie. At one point, Tom Cruise, as Lieutenant Daniel Caffey, tells Demi Moore, it doesn't matter what I believe. It only matters what I can prove. And that is so important in law, and that is so important in that moment on the field. It doesn't matter if I believe that it was a forward pass. I have to be able to prove that it was a forward pass, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much everybody in the stadium is looking at it and going, I went a long way forward. How can that not be a forward pass? If you can't prove it, and not having the snip back is like the ultimate, we can't prove what happened anyway. But if you can't prove it, then it doesn't matter. It is not worth a timeout. It's not worth a challenge. It's not worth any of that. So there are many times where I see things happen on a field, sports field, now that replay has become a big thing, and the call is the most important thing, because they have to have clear, decisive evidence to overturn a call. And if you don't get that, then even if the call's wrong, even if everybody looking at it in slow motion goes, I think it's pretty obvious that that's what happened, but I can't prove it, it doesn't matter. It can't be overturned. Doesn't matter what I believe. It only matters what I can prove.
I wish the IFL had the same rule that I believe the NFL still has it. I know they had it at one time where all turnovers are reviewed.
Yeah, no, they don't do that in the IFL.
Yeah. It would have helped us on a couple of occasions, I think, but
man, I don't think anybody's done replay or review as perfect and as quick as the and I did not want it to happen, but Major League Baseball with the ABS system, the automatic balls and strikes system, I love it. It's so fun. And it's immediately available, and we see in real time whether it was a strike or a ball, and we get to appreciate how good a job umpires do calling the game because they are right. The vast majority of the times they've called it correctly. They miss a few. Like, they absolutely miss some. They're only human. But I really love the ABS challenges and tapping that helmet for the catchers or the batters. And I've noticed that pitchers have given up on challenging balls that they throw. They don't know near as much as catchers and batters do that are right there at the plate. So pitchers are giving up. It's kind of cool. Have y'all seen the ump that kept trying to deny some calls at the plate? No, I didn't see that. Denying them to be reviewed. So here's the interesting part about that, James. They have to immediately challenge the pitch. They can't think about it. They can't take a second and process it. If they do not immediately call for the review as soon as the pitch is called, ball or strike, they'll usually deny them. I've seen it happen several times. And I love that because we don't have time for that. We need to get moving with the game. And ultimately, a ball or a strike is not going to change a whole game anyway. But I love it. I think it's a great little review system that they put together with the ABS system, keeping the umpires in the game, but still giving us the opportunity to challenge balls and strikes. It's kind of fun. Well,
I'm going to make a prediction that we're going to go in overtime and we're going to win, just like last year.
I don't want to think about that.
A win in overtime.
Think about that at all.
Overtime.
I'm already on blood pressure medication. I don't need any overtime games there.
Well, we'll be there. We'll be right there.
Let's win it in regulation, because overtime means anybody can win, man. We are the Smoking Guns Podcast. We're a podcast all about football in San Antonio, specifically around the San Antonio Gunslingers of the IFL. We are brought to you by some amazing folks that chip in a little bit every month to help us make the show go and pay the show bills, which keep rising. Every time I get an email from our service here that hosts us, I get nervous. My palms get sweaty as soon as I see StreamYard on my thing, because I'm like, uh-oh, they're fixing to go up on me again. They're fixing to be expensive. Those folks. And I see one of them just checking in right now. Whoa. She says, what's up? Mo Ferrante says, what's up, Smoking Guns Posse? Smoking Guns Podcast. RSV in addition to no AC for the past 24 hours.
Oh, no.
That sucks. That's awful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I hope that gets figured out very, very fast. The air conditioning thing. I mean, the RSV is what it is, and you'll get through it. But man, that's rough. Those folks, those other folks. There's Iris and Mo Ferrante. You see Mo Ferrante checking in with us there. There's Robert Seco, James Palmer, Jessica Palmer, Jay Washington, Jordan Stubing, Kim and Greg Nelson. All wonderful folks that help us. They chip in $5, $10, or $20 a month, and they help us keep the show going. And then at the end of the year, the pot that we have left over, we use that money to send folks, kids, to football camp and to cheer camp when the Gunslingers run their football camp and the six shooters run cheer camp. We make sure some kids that would not normally get the opportunity to go have the opportunity to go and be a part of that. And we cover that expense for them. If you want to be a part of that group that helps do those two things, making the show go and sending kids to camp, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/smokinggunspod. Smoking no G, guns with a Z, POD. And you can join up at $5, $10, or $20 a month and help us get some kids to camp, help us pay the bills here on the show.
I was going to say call us, but we don't do that anymore.
No, we don't do that. We don't. I think that's still out there, but nobody ever used it. So we're gonna do. So with all that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start ending the show here. And I got a request. Somebody asked that
Nobody
old man Higginbotham. No, somebody asked this a couple of weeks ago. That old man Higginbotham be the one to send us out. So if you are looking for the best indoor football experience anywhere in the country, you're not going to find it out in Tulsa.
No.
You're not going to find it in Arizona. There's 3 teams there. It's hot. It's terrible. You're not going to find it there. You're not going to go down to Florida where it's all swampy. You're not going to find it there either. If you're looking for the best indoor football experience anywhere, the 210, they got something to say.
Bang, bang.
All right, folks. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
How about Yosef? Could you be named Yosef?
Yosef? It's good. I mean, it's honestly, since we're out of the show now and we're just kind of chatting, although there's some folks watching with us, it's a Bernie Sanders impression is all I'm doing.
Bernie
Sanders.
Bernie, the hens and the whole, it's just a Bernie Sanders thing. It's just me grabbing onto Bernie Sanders and doing my best with that. It's not a good Bernie Sanders impression, but it's a Bernie Sanders.
It's entertaining.
It's fun. It's fun. I'm not going to do it a lot, but it's fun. Thank you so much for those of you that are hanging out with us. We hope we see you on Saturday. And let's see if we can get on the right side of 500. Get an opportunity here.
We're getting there.
All right. Thanks so much, folks.
See you soon.